We're gonna take you on a little tour of the campground we're staying at, and you're not gonna believe it. We actually have the best site. Here it is. And yes, that's Monty crying in the camper because we're leaving him for 2 minutes. Unbelievable, this dog. Spoiled. Come along. All of these sites in the area that we're in, by the way, our site is 1178, if you're wondering. And all these sites where we are in this newer area, I think it's a newer area, they're all full hookup. Some of them, like the one right behind me right there, literally face the Mackinaw Bridge and face Lake Huron. But they're all really nice on this side. And they have these great little areas where you can set up hammocks and have fires. So if you're not in a site that's on the end here, you can come down and set your chairs up right on the lake, have a fire. It's awesome. Put your hammock in a tree and relax. But how many sites are here, do you know?
Over 200.
Yeah, at least over 200. This is a great site right here, too.
265 maybe? And cabins.
211 right there is a great site. So there's also like a sandy beach, which is pretty cool, too. Area sites seem to be a little bit more crowded, maybe a little bit noisier, a little more action, let's say that. There's a little more action going on down at the beach sites than over where we are. So if you're looking for peace and quiet, I would suggest doing it over by where we are in the, does that section have a name? Yeah, where the streets are numbered 1 through 9. It's very deceiving because when you look online for their map, they don't actually give you site numbers. They just give you like sections. But when you do go to make a reservation, you could actually put in a specific site number, which is what we did, 1178. Can't say it enough. Although maybe I shouldn't say it because now they're going to be trying to take it from us. There's several playgrounds in the park. I rode back over there. There's so many sites here. There's so many areas, there's so many sites. It's crazy. And when I'm riding around, it's hard to tell which ones are full hookups and which ones are partial hookups. There are a bunch that are just partial hookups, but nonetheless, they're all absolutely great spots. I mean, every time I try to get out of this area, I get lost. And the signs, they're not very helpful. Sorry.
Not helpful?
Well. And now we're coming up on like the park store, which is kind of centrally located in the campground. So it's fairly easy to get to from all the camping areas. They have here I'll show you, restrooms here. One thing they don't have is a laundry facility. That's a little annoying. But they have this right here. I don't know if you can see it. Boom. It is a shuttle to the Mackinaw Island ferry, which is pretty cool. We did it last year. We put our bikes on the back, and the shuttle just took us and our bikes over to the ferry, which was pretty awesome, actually. So you don't have to pay for parking over there. Ready to hit the pool?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna resume our tour of the Mackinaw Mill Creek Campground because it was interrupted by a full 24 hours of rain.
Which way do you want to go?
I mean, it never stopped raining. Yeah?
Yeah,
Let's go that way.
for 24 hours.
For 24 hours, it never stopped raining. So anyway, that is our site right there. We have an awesome view of the Mackinaw Bridge and Mackinaw Island, which is right over there. So those right there, that's the section that we're in. If you're looking on the map, it's streets 1 through 9. And then after streets 1 through 9, you come to these other spots here that are on the water, but they don't face the water the way we do. You like back it, their awning doesn't face the water the way ours does. They back in. And
Explain to them how.
and they are a little narrower. They're not as big. The living space is not as big. Yeah, the one good thing about having these spots here is that this area, let me show you, this area right behind me here, that's directly across from your camper, that's your spot. No one's taking it. Whereas over by us, it's a much bigger spot over on the water, and all the campers that are not on the water kind of gravitate there and set up camp there. Now, I can't tell you much about the cabins in terms of their amenities because I haven't been inside. So I don't know if they have bathrooms and such, but you could probably go online and check that out. Another nice thing about the cabins is, well, these are all grouped together right here on the water, but there's a whole bunch of them like throughout the campground, like just kind of in the campground. So if you're here with your RV and somebody else in your party doesn't have an RV, you could stay in an RV spot and they can stay almost in a cabin that's like right next to your spot, which is kind of cool. My guess in doing this walking review for you, because I'm not putting any prices, I'm not including any prices here, although I will tell you to get our spot over there, awning facing the bridge, very expensive as far as campgrounds go. But I'm not going to put any pricing because they change periodically. But there are cabins over here which are not directly facing the water. My guess would be that they are cheaper than the ones that directly face the water. Same thing applies with the RV sites that do not face the water. I bet you they're a little bit cheaper. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Here's a cabin right behind me here. And if I just spin around right here, there's a full hookup RV site. And then if I spin around like this, there's a tent site right over there. So you have all these options literally right across the street from each other. So if you come with a big party and not everybody has an RV, they got options for you. So we're walking and we just saw a nice site that we liked. What was it? 784? And Jill said, 784? How many sites do they have here? I said, well, we're 1178. They might have 1,000 sites. I'm going to put it right down here how many sites they have according to their website. But we're in an area right now, I'll be honest with you, I've never been in before. Yeah. We may get lost going back to the camper. Another thing I like about the sites, most of them
I see a sign.
are super private. Like, look at this site. I believe that's it's because the landscaping is very mature here. So a lot of the sites are super private, which is nice. We get to do this review and take a nice long walk because we're going to St. Ignace for a little while today, which is right over the Mackinaw Bridge, and we want to tire Monty out. Okay, now we're in another section that we've never been in. We're near Road 30, sites 598. And these sites, they're not close to the lake, but they're enormous. Look at the size of these sites. You're the kind of person that just comes to a campground, is not too particular about what site they get. You can't go wrong here. I'll be honest, you cannot go wrong because none of the sites are bad sites. It's just how close do you want to be to the lake?
Beach area.
To the beach area.
To the bridge.
That's every site you get. Like right now, we're not near the lake, but these sites they're nice. If I went to any other campground and I got this site, I'd be pleased. So you can't go wrong. I know the map can be a little bit overwhelming when you look online, but you really can't go wrong at this campground. So they have a pet exercise area, which it's huge, it's very vast, but it's unfenced, just so you know. Come on, go run with Mama. That old boy, it's the most exercise he's gotten in a while. The most running he's done in a while, I should say, that old boy. So I would say this is a great campground for the area. It is kind of pricey, it is expensive, but it's a great campground. It has a lot to offer. The sites are amazing. The location is perfect, right on Lake Huron here. Hope to see you there one day.